King Demetrius gathered forces and went to Medina to get help to fight against Trios and Artaxerxes, the king of Persia. Media heard that Demetrius was in town, and he went and captured Demetrius and defeated his army. The land of Judah was at peace, so as long as Simon lived. He sought the good of his nation. He took Joppa for report and made it an access to the islands of the sea. He enlarged his nation and became master of the land. He gathered many captives, removed things that defiled the nation, and cultivated peace and yielded the land's produce. Old man sat in the streets and talked about well-being. Young man put on splendor, warlike attire. He supplied the towns with provisions, and he renowned, spoken of to the ends of the earth. He made peace in the land. Israel rejoiced. No one was afraid. No one left the land to fight them. He reestablished all those who had been humbled. He removed everyone who was lawless and wicked. He made the sanctuary glorious and increased equipment. It was reported in Rome as far as Sparta that Jonathan was dead, and they grieved bitterly. They wrote to his brother Simon, the new high priest, on brass tablets to renew friendly relations and alliances. This is what the Spartans sent. The chief magistrates in the city of Sparta sends greetings to Simon, the chief priest, and to the elders and the priests and the rest of the Jewish people, our kinsmen. We're glad to hear of your splendor and wealth. We record the following. Numenius, the son of Antioch and Antides, the son of Jason, envoys of the Jews, came to us to renew their friendly relations with us. The people were relieved to receive the men with honor and among the public records, and CC the high priest. Simon sent numerous in Rome with a great gold shield weighing 1,000 pounds to confirm their alliance. The people said, "How shall we thank Simon? For he and his brothers have stood fast and have driven the enemies of Israel and secured his freedom." On the 18th day of Elul, in the 172nd year, this is the 3rd year of Simon the high priest, prince of God's people. On frequent occasions when wars have arisen, Simon, the son of Matthias the priest, exposed themselves to danger and resisted the adversaries of the nation so that the sanctuary and their law might be upheld. They have reflected great glory upon this nation. Jonathan rallied his nation, became their high priest, and was gathered to his people. Simon fought for his nation, spent a great deal of his own money, and he armed warlike men, gave them wages, fortified the towns of Judea and Bethsura when their enemies were formerly kept their arms. He stationed a garrison of Jews there. He fortified Joppa on the seacoast and Gorzaza on the border of Azotus and settled Jews there, gave them means of restoration. When the people saw that Simon's faithfulness and glory, and that he designed to bring to his nation, he made them their leader. Because of his uprightness and fidelity, and because he sought in every way to exalt his people, the heathen were driven out of the country and out of the city of David in Jerusalem. The heathen built themselves a citadel from which they would go out and pollute the surrounding area of the sanctuary. They did great damage. Simon made the land and city safe, settling Jews in it and building high walls. King Demetrius confirmed him in the priesthood and made him one of his friends, for he had heard that he was addressed by the Romans as friend, so he went along. They resolved Simon to be their leader, to set them duties over the country, over the arms, over the fortifications, until a true prophet should appear. And he would take care of the sanctuary and should obey all the contracts stated in his reign, and he should be clothed in purple and gold. Nobody was allowed to gather in an assembly without him, or contradict what he said, or set his things aside. Those who disregarded shall be liable to punishment. And all the people agreed. Simon accepted and became their high priest, their general, and the governor of the Jews and the priests. They ordered the decree inscribed on brass tablets and set it up in a conspicuous place, and copies were placed in the treasury so that Simon and his sons might have it. Antioch, the son of King Demetrius, sent a letter from the islands of the sea to Simon. It ran as follows. King Antiochus sends greetings to Simon, the chief priests and the governors, and to the Jewish nation. As some ruffians have made themselves master of the kingdom of our forefathers, I wish to reclaim the kingdom so that I may restore it to its former state. I have raised a large force of mercenaries, prepared ships of war, and proposed to the land into the country to go in and search out of the men who ruined our country. I now guarantee you all the immunities which the king before me have granted to you, and gifts too. I give you authority to coin your own money for your own country with your own stamp. Jerusalem and her sanctuary shall be free. All the arms you have prepared, the prisons you have, shall remain yours. Royal obligations shall be remitted from you from this time forward. And when we get possession of our kingdom, we will glorify you, Simon, and your nation, and the temple, and the whole earth. In the 174th year, Antiochus went into the country of the forefathers and pursued Trypho de Dor. Neumes came back from Rome with a letter to the kings. Lucas, the council of the Romans, sends greetings to Ptolemy. The envoy of Jews came to us, and the friends and their allies, they wanted to renew friendly relations with us, having been sent by Simon, the high priest, and the Jewish people. They brought a gold shield weighing 1,000 pounds. It is our pleasure, therefore, to write to the kings to not injure them or fight them, or their towns or courts, not to ally themselves with those who fight against them. We have determined to accept this shield from them. So, if any miscreants from their country flee to yours, hand them over to Simon so that he may punish them in accordance with their law. He wrote the same message to King Demetrius, and to Attalus, and to Eratosthenes, and to Arsaces, and to Sampsones, and to the Spartans, and to Pamphylia, and to Lycia, and to Heliocomassus, and to Rhodes, and to Phalces, and to Cos, and to Side, and to Aradus, and to Gorty, and to Conindus, and to Cyprus and Cyrene. King Antiochus attacked Dor on the second day. Simon sent him 2,000 picked men to fight for him, along with silver and gold, war materials, but he wouldn't accept them. He disregarded all arguments and was estranged from him. He sent one of his friends named Athenocochus to him, saying, "You're holding Joppa and Gazaza in the citadel in Jerusalem, cities in my kingdom. You have done great injury to this country. Now, give the towns you seized and tribute, or give me 500 talents of silver for the damage you've done, or else we will make war on you." So Athasines, the king's force, came to Jerusalem, saw Simon's splendor, great pomp, and was amazed. He gave him the king's message, and Simon said to him in reply, "We have neither taken other men's land, nor are we in possession of other men's property, but the inheritance of our forefathers. It was wrongfully held by our enemies at one time, but we hold firmly that this inheritance is our forefathers. As for Joppa and Gazara that you have demanded, while they have done great damage to our people, we will give 1,000 talents for them." He went back to the king in anger and reported the words and splendor and all that he had seen, and the king was extremely angry. Trypho embarked a ship, fled to Orthosia. Phone's ringing. The king appointed Celebinus commander in Christ of Sea-Coast and gave him infantry and cavalry. They pitched the camp before Judea. King pursued Trypho. Candlebos began to provoke people and invade Judea and took people captives and killed them. He built walls of Kidron, stationed forces so that they may go out and make raids on the highway as the king ordered. John went up from Gazara and told his father Simon what Centaurus has done. Simon called in 2 of his eldest sons, Judas and John, and said to them, "I and my brothers have fought the battle of Israel from our youth until today. We succeeded in delivering Israel many times, but now I'm old, and you're old enough. You must take my place and go out and fight for our nation. May the help that comes from heaven be with you." He chose 250,000 soldiers, cavalry, and marched against Candlebos, and there was a stream people were afraid to cross, so he went first, and Candlebos and his army were routed. Many fell and were wounded. Judas, John's brother, was wounded. They burned the towers of Azotus and returned to Judea in peace. Now Ptolemy, son of Albus, had been appointed governor over the plain of Jericho, and he had a great deal of silver and gold, for he was the son-in-law of the high priest. He was elated and plotted deceitfully against Simon to remove him. Simon was visiting towns and providing for their care. He went down to Jericho with his son Matthias and Judas and Albus' son, and they were deceitfully entertained them in a fortress called Doc. They had a great banquet, and when Simon and his sons were drunk, Ptolemy went to the banquet hall and attacked Simon and killed him and his sons. It was a great act of treachery, returning evil for good. Ptolemy wrote to the king for aid. He sent people to take possession of Jerusalem and the Temple Mount. A man ran ahead of Garza and informed John that his father and brothers had perished and that they were coming to kill him. He was amazed and seized the men who came to destroy him. The rest of the acts of John and his wars, his exploits, the buildings, his walls, his deeds are all written in the chronicles of the high priest as he became the high priest after his father.